What's going on there, fellow YouTubers? This is Chris from the Msss Anomalies channel. Guys, I always tell you I got a cool one for you today. This one here you're not going to want to miss. This one's absolutely neat. Watch it to the end. You won't be dissatisfied. I keep, the last couple videos I did with the satellite views from the base of Mount Sharp. The reason why I'm doing this, and I've said this before in my videos, that because it is the final destination of this Curiosity rover. So, what I'm trying to convey is there's a lot more that are hiding, meaning NASA, JPL, the ESA, all of these space agencies. A lot of people say, well, why would they all be on it? The exact reason, God only knows. But you can bet it's just for power, basically. You got all this knowledge, you got power. It's as simple as that. But I know a lot of the newcomers jumped on board, and I thank you again for doing that. There's a video I did, and this is for all my subbies now. When you guys, this is great. If you go back to the video I did, it was called Why I Believe NASA is Lying. Go back and check that video out. Also, in that video, I have John Grotzinger in there. Now, John Grotzinger is a geological expert, amongst other things. He's on the science team, the NASA Curiosity science team. And there's 5 of them sitting at this long counter. And I don't even know how long this thing is. This thing could be 30 feet in length, probably about 4 or 5 feet in depth. But he's standing up and he's pointing down at the table. And he says to the press that's sitting out there, listening and filming and all this other stuff. And he says, somewhere along the lines, I'm not going to say it verbatim because I know exactly what he said, but every word is, yeah. Anyway, he says, the high-rise camera, which is actually mounted on the MRO, the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter, can see this table from space. And I thought, I was actually floored. I'm going, wow. This thing has a zoom and a detail that you would not believe. And my argument was, why are we getting these crappy, they're not raw photos, they're garbage JPEG. But I got a video for you. I just stumbled on it just before I was ready to make this video. I said, I've got to add this thing because, guys, if you think you're frustrated now, wait. This is neat. This is from, this is a video, and there's a guy named Armand Torian. He's a mechanical engineer for NASA. And I'm going to play this video for you guys. It's right around from 8 seconds to about 50. The video does lag, only because at the time, what happens is, actually it's not at the time, but when I'm recording and it's playing at the same time, it tends to lag it. I don't care about the video so much. It's the actual what he says, and you got to listen carefully. You're going to like this. So let's play that first. And we'll go from there.
We use the wheels to determine how far the rover has traveled. There's no GPS, there's no ability to use a compass on the surface of Mars and things like that that you would use on Earth to be able to tell how far you've traveled, where you've gone. So every time it goes through a revolution, it will leave a mark or an imprint on the soil of the surface of Mars. And we can look down at it with the orbiters and see the wheel tracks and be able to tell how far we've traveled. The interesting thing about the marks on the wheels is that they actually spell out JPL in Morse code.
Now, did you hear what he said? It should be, let me see if I can get it back here. See if we can get it back.
So every time it goes through a revolution, it will leave a mark or an imprint on the soil of Mars. And we can look down at it with the orbiters and see the wheel tracks and be able to tell how far we've traveled.
Are you kidding me? We can look down with the orbiters and see the wheel tracks. Wow. Wow. So now, this thing, oh my God, they're seeing every nook and cranny that's on the ground. So again, why the piss poor JPEGs? I got people argue with me saying, well, you don't understand. It's only a 2 megapixel camera or every excuse in the book. Well, wait a minute. You're telling me it's a piss poor quality 2 megapixel or whatever it is, and it really doesn't matter. Because all we got to do is compare what he's saying to what we're getting. I mean, there's just no two ways around this. So I'm saying to myself, okay, So you can see it in that fine a detail and zoom in that close. And I've said this before about the wheels. In fact, Peter from Space, well, he goes by Space Cadet on his channel. We were talking about, and I said that those 3 bars that go across and they're actually milled into this wheel. And like he said, they actually have it, it's Morse code for, for what do you call it? What the heck is that? Okay, let me shut this off. I don't know why I keep this phone on. But anyway, my main thing was that I'm saying they could see that finer detail. They can actually see wheel marks that are not more than how wide? And I was saying that each of those bars, every time it goes around a revolution, but here's the crazy part. I was saying this, and I said this in more than one of my videos, after it makes one revolution, they can tell how many feet it's traveled. Maybe it's 1.5 feet, 2 feet, whatever. Okay. But I was thinking that they're using their own cameras, which I know they do. They use the front and rear has cams along with the mass cam and the nav cam, so on and so forth. They could just look back and just see how far they've gone, and they can get a basic idea. And they just count the actual track. I forgot exactly what the nomenclature is for the actual tread that sticks out of the wheels. Each one of them represents I forgot how many it is, of like 2 or 3 inches or whatever it is. So they can get a basic idea just how far they've rolled it, even if they back up, do whatever. They know. Okay. But they're using the MRO to see this? Oh my, wow. So, with that in mind, this is the reason why I've been doing these satellite pictures or these photos from the Worldwide Telescope of Mars. I'm not using that program today because it'll tend to lag that picture. Because, understand, I'm recording. I'm using a program that uses a lot of resources, so on and so forth, plus the computer's doing other things as well. Yeah, just lag city. We don't want to do that. So I'm going to show you pictures of, there's one here that you're going to like. Let's do this first. Let's bring up the map where this traversed so far. And this is Bradbury Landing. At the very top of the picture, you can just see the landing, but it says Bradbury. And it comes over to here, and then drops all the way down. You can see, a lot of people are on the rock nest and so on and so forth. But I'm saying to myself, why is it taking, I think we're up to 801, 802 days now so far, well, I should say sols on Mars. But I'm saying, why is it taking this long to traverse this certain area? Now, there's just a lot of information about this, but when you say, okay, 800 days to go from that point all the way down to here, it's because it moves slow. Well, in that video, I'm going to give you the link to that because it's a lot smoother when you see it, the regular video. At 50, 51, just before it fades off and goes to their animation part of the end of the video, you can literally see that rover moving. It's slow, like it showed you moving over the rocks. This thing actually has, I said before, it has like a rabbit button, like this thing can move fast. And you can literally see this thing start to take off. I'll bet that thing moves 5-10 miles an hour, at least. And it just showed it right at the end of that, and you can actually see this thing start to move faster, like they kicked in high gear or something. But, all right. So I want to know what they're seeing from these points all the way down to where they are now. I want to know what the hell. So I zoom way in, and this is that supposedly dried up riverbed, but they look like dunes. And I want to show you something. I didn't show you this last time. Look at this area right here. Now you can see it's pixelated and all that. I get all that, but check this out. Blur, blur, blur. From here over. What are they hiding? Seriously, what are they hiding? It makes no sense. But anyway, okay, so let's jump on it. I want to show you, I did another area from my last video. I'm going to show you another area that's very close to it. What I've basically been doing is this. Like I'll take a small area like right here, another small area right here, and moving up. And I'm basically moving along somewhere around. It doesn't even have to be exact track. It's just that I'm moving along and I'm taking these. I'm not going to do the whole area. Christ, it would take me, I'd have like a 1,000 videos just in one area. But I want to show you, just to give you an idea, why this thing is taking so bloody long. It has nothing to do with how fast or how slow this thing moves. It's got to do with its inspecting. Okay, again, we're going to continue on with the satellite pictures. Here's one right here. And you can see, I don't have multiple pictures of this one, which is fine. But you can see right here, the lower right corner, you can see the actual coordinates. So you've got that. If you have the Worldwide Telescope, go ahead and jump on it, and you're going to see it's there. Now, when you look at this, it looks like a bunch of rocks. It really, truly does. When you look at it real quick, it does. And this is just a small portion. But when I say small portion, this is probably a good mile or two in length, or width, depending on how you want to look at it, or diagonally. So I'm looking at this thing, and I'm going, but I see structures. I see them right here. I'm not doing a thing to this picture. All I do is zoomed in, and this is what I found. And some people will argue, well, I'll tell you what, that's probably some kind of artifacts of the picture. No, not really, because look at this. Look at the way these things are. They're not just squares. They're multiple little structures sitting in a row. Okay, now I'm going to show you what that looks like enhanced. Right here. Now let's zoom this in. Check this out. I'm just going to just turn this, because this is the way I believe it actually goes, because there's actually shadows to this stuff. Now, check this stuff out. This is what's crazy. If you look at right here, just the smallest detail. Let's just zoom in right big time right here. Check this out. Squared off structure. 1, 2, and there's something right there. And you can see it's just going across into this piece. Just very faintly. Now, check this out. Something here jumping over from this structure to this one. And there's many. There's one. You can just see it's slightly brighter than the rest of the blur. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Something over here, 5. And look at this. They're actually connected. Now, like I said, I mean, when you look at this, just a little pieces here. Now I'm going to go ahead and enhance this a little bit more to pop this out. They actually have shadows to them. They have height. It is not just a simple pattern on here. Okay. Now, I'm going to go up here a little bit more. And this stuff, it's all over the place. It's literally all over the place. I'm going to jump it over here. I hate zooming in because it really does kind of trash the picture a bit. But look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's like little tiny things on top of larger structures. This is not just, again, it's not a flat pattern or some kind of artifacts of the picture. Okay? And I'll give you this picture here on my Google+. So you won't have to worry about that either. Again, I'm not going to use the program, the Worldwide Telescope, because it just lag it out anyway, so there's no point in it. It worked pretty well, but the thing is it still lags a bit, so I don't want to keep doing that. But check this stuff out. And you can just see this. It's everywhere. Down to here, down to here. And what they do is they try to blur this stuff out. Now, keep in mind, this is along, before it even jumps over, this is on the other side of the dried up riverbed, as they put it, before it goes over to the base of Mount Sharp. Okay, so again, here's the darkened or more enhanced picture. And like I said, if this was just nothing more than, patterns, you wouldn't see things that are higher than others. Like this right here, something's coming up right here and dropping down. You can see it and it's got a shadow to it. These things here, you can see that they're higher than these pieces. So yeah, it's pretty interesting in itself. This one picture alone is just pretty neat. All right, let's move it along. I don't want to make it super long for you guys. I mean, I don't mind making a decent video. But let's see. All right, let's do it this way. All right, so let's get out of the Photoshop itself. Don't need it. Now, I want to show you guys something that's really cool, because there's a spot that I'm going to show you, and I'm going to do that right here. This is the base of Mount Sharp. Okay, this is the area that we're in. This, X marks the spot, is where I am doing that small area. This whole area, it actually looks like a giant croissant. You can see it right here. It goes like this. It goes over, and I forget, it actually goes like this somewhere around here. But this is the area I'm doing, right here. And this is where they started from, this other X. So it goes from Bradbury Landing, goes like this a little bit, and then comes back out and just kind of traverses until it gets to this point right here. Now, I have seen two paths. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but they had two of them. Like one was supposed to go like kind of like this and around and back up in here, and it's supposed to end up somewhere in this, up in here somewhere. It looks like they call it like a, might have been like some kind of water flow of some sort. I think they call it like a fan area kind of thing. But and then there's another one going like this, like just kind of just goes immediately into it, like just curves right into it. So they're trying to, get over this area. I don't think that's what they're trying to do at all. I think what they're trying to do is they're actually hiding, or they're actually inspecting what I'm about to show you. Now, this is the area in question. Now, just to give you guys an idea, now again, this X is the same one I show you here. In other words, it hasn't moved, it's the same spot. So just give you an idea, to the, where it's at, where it started and where it's at now. This is the part I'm doing. So it's not even on the mountain. Okay? So this is the part here. This area here going towards the bottom right is going towards the mountain itself, or into that, actually it'd be going this way, I'm sorry. It goes into this area here. should be, this whole area here should be the actual dried up riverbed. So the rover's coming down, it'd be like coming from the top, and it's supposed to be going around or going through this area and down. Okay, so now let's check that out. I'm going to rotate it for you, and I'm going to show you. Check this out. I can see things, and I haven't done a thing to this picture. Look at it all. All in this picture. Now I'm going to show you what's crazy about it, because look at the way this thing is shaped right here. It goes around, comes back down, nice sharp edge, goes around, goes up, goes around, comes back down, and it looks like it's level, goes into the ground, like it's a giant ramp of some sort, and it goes up into these structures. Now at first you go, well, yeah, I'm just seeing a bunch of white squares, and I'm not seeing much of anything else. That's exactly the reason. They put everything blue for a reason. You go, well, what the hell would blue be doing on buildings? So it's got to be an ocean. No. So let me show you this right here, because what I'm going to do is this right here. Here is what really pops out of this picture. That's a traverse. This is it right here, and what I do is I rotated it. Well, I rotated this one because it's supposed to be this way. And you can see where that area I just showed you. Here's a corner. Looked like I had that weird ramp. All I do is just turn it clockwise, and this is what you end up with right here. Okay, so now let's jump over this. This is the picture this is what's really going on right here. Check this out. Now keep in mind, it takes a lot to bring this out because it is being blurred, color put over it, so on and so forth. So what I do is I went into the black plate, or and I believe one of these is the actual grayscale. So we're basically in the monochrome, getting rid of all the colors, trying to strip it out. But you still have that glaze over it. So check this out. What's crazy about this thing, it actually has shadows to it. You can see it goes up like this, comes over, goes across here, has this angle here, goes around. But look at the shadows under it. It's doing the same thing. Right here, you can actually see the corner shadow. And goes like this and goes over. This thing's crazy. It has a bunch of stuff all over this. Look at the detail, and it's going to get better. The detail just gets better and better in this picture. Now, let's jump to this one here. And do this too. Now, you can start to see it a little bit better because it's brightened up, but you can actually see, now, again, this would be going towards the base of Mount Sharp, into this actual dried up riverbed, as they call it. Now, if it is truly a dried up riverbed, I'm okay with that. But apparently it dried up a long time ago because there's structures in it. And you can see that. Okay? Look at all of these little things all over this. This is cool because you can see, like, right here, goes up like this and goes down. See that? And then slopes down and goes over into this. There's just tons of actual structures all in this picture itself. And it just keeps going on and on and on. Okay? Now, let's go to the next one. And what I'm trying to do is I actually clear this up a little bit more, enhance a little bit more, and you can start to see just a little bit more detail in here. And you can start to see a lot more. Now, here's the crazy part. If I had seen like a square going from like here into this other area, I'd say it's nothing more than compression marks or whatever, but it's not. What's crazy about it is if you look, you can see a little bit darker, or I should say brightened up areas, meaning in this blur you can see 1, 2, there's something right there, 3, there's 2 lines of something right here, there's like 2 longer structures, there's things built along this edge, and look at the way this structure is here, there's multiple structures or something, but it's being built in the, like almost in the way of the actual shape of this, I don't even know what to call this, constructed land? I mean, I don't even know, because what does that in nature? And like I said, it has a shadow under it. So whatever this stuff is, it's intelligently made. There's no doubt in my mind. And if you just pan over this, you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Look at it. It's just stuff that's faded out because they really did their best to just try to hide whatever's here. And there's things you can see like right here. This one way up at the top. It's got a shadow under it. So whatever this stuff is, it's actually higher than the surrounding objects. Now this one here is a little bit more sharpened. And you can see that right here. And to me, this is just crazy. This stuff, in other words, this rover should be coming from the right, driving towards the left. And it could literally go up into this. And go in and go check all this out. Go in there, take a look. Come back out. And that's probably what it's been doing all this time. Been going in and out of this thing, coming back out. And that's why they're showing this. It actually went in. I think it was like 790, 791. It actually went in. And it totally went in a circle. Went back out and went counterclockwise in a circle and kind of pulled back out of it. I'm going, why would it do that? So it found a way in and then came back out. Whatever it did, it's moving around. Again, this larger area that looks like it's higher is actually got this huge shadow going on. See it right here? So whatever that is, right there, I don't even know. But, yeah, this is the real reason why Curiosity is here. It's not because of something that took place in the 1970s with the Viking lander. They've already done soil samples, any kind of water that was in the soil. They've done atmospheric studies, so on and so forth. Yeah, they seen this stuff. They just took a look around. Think about it. You're going to put a lander on there. What's the first thing you're going to do? Well, it has to be your eyes and ears. I believe they actually recorded, too. So, yeah. And I think this was another enhanced. This one might be the more enhanced picture right here. Okay, this is the one that's really sharpened up. So you can actually get a little bit better idea of the individuality of all of these different parts. But look at this. Look at this. Things that are sticking out of the top of. And you can see now, you can see these little structures running along the edge of this other area. Look at this. And they're running along. This thing is just insane. I mean, you can see in the darker areas where what they do is they just put colors over this stuff. Now, obviously, if you put a blue over it, the darker area is going to be a darker blue. So you think, no big deal. But when you enhance this stuff, and you see the stuff that's really laying here, oh my God, this is just nuts. You can see it right here, and just everything in here. Look at this. This could be roads in between, but keep in mind, if it's completely congested area, let's say you're looking at an angle of Manhattan Island, and you pull way out. I think this is at 173 miles out. Picture that city. How many roads are you going to see? Not many. I mean, you might see the bridges going to and from the mainland, but as far as the actual main streets, if you pull way out, you're not going to see a whole lot of that. You're going to see more structures than you're going to see everything, than anything at all. So, yeah, I mean, it just makes more sense. But just take a look around. There's just stuff that's faint, that's even more faint in here. But this guys, this is it right here. This is the real reason. Now, somebody had asked me, Chris, is it possible that this is all abandoned? It's very possible. I believe it's very possible. I believe if this planet was alive and, of course, thriving and everything else, well, then I believe wholeheartedly that it definitely had, had structures like it has here in this picture. And if the atmosphere got wiped from this planet for whatever reason, well, then the structures are still intact. And maybe some of these are ruins. There's no way of really knowing, but they look pretty intact to me. So my thing is, okay, if it was just something simple that just ripped the atmosphere out, well, there you go. Think about it. And I said this before. I think it was in my other video, is there life or was there life on Mars, intelligent life? Wouldn't it be really awesome, being who we are, humans, we're going to go up there and we're going to check this planet out, or we've already been doing it, but I mean as far as setting foot on it, now a lot of people already said we have. If you go by what Andrew Basiago has said, that they've been doing this, I think, since the 60s and 70s, so pretty crazy stuff. And if that's true, think about it. How convenient would it be if they went there and these structures were all there, but all the inhabitants were dead? How convenient would that be? I think their transportation, their buildings, and there's trees and stuff on this planet. We've seen it. It's got greenery everywhere. It's got lakes. So if this is here, it's like picture us being on Mars and coming to Earth, and all the people are completely wiped off the planet. That would be pretty awesome. Meaning, you'd be at awe seeing all of the structures here, and you'd be just, whoa, that's cool. So yeah, I strongly believe that these structures are here. And this is the main reason. This is the real reason why Curiosity's here. It's not for samples or anything else. Although they may be showing you these little holes that it's digging in the ground, it goes a lot deeper than that. But, so guys, I mean, again, going back to that video I played for you in the beginning, the high-rise or any of the orbiters can take a picture of wheel marks from the rover and tell how far it's traversed. Wow. How much does that thing have to zoom in, and how much of a quality picture? Now, if you ever seen pictures of the high-rise, it's insane. You could take a full-size guy, put him in a fetal position, and that's about the size of and I'm talking about a full-size guy, let's say a guy that's 6'3". Put him in a loose fetal position, and that's about the size of this camera. It's huge. He could literally fit into it. Let's put it that way. I've seen the pictures. This thing is like, oh my God, it's phenomenal. So, to be able to see that, you know they're seeing these structures here, crystal clear quality. So I don't want to hear the argument, well, the cameras and there's only so much data they can send. Well, this guy just proved you wrong because he's saying that by seeing these tracks, okay, even if raw images, they have to be a good quality, X amount of megapixels to be able to zoom into a picture, because the bigger the picture you have, the more you can zoom into, it doesn't break up as easy. That's all there is to it. So it's got to be super zoom and quality, and, whatever this camera is. I forgot exactly what the, it's HD. That's just common sense. But so it gives you an idea. They're seeing these structures. They're absolutely there. This rover's there for a reason. And here you are. I'm going to be doing more on this. But here's the thing. I'm going to be getting back to the ground pictures too. And I also mentioned that I'm going to be getting to the tube. A lot of people ask me, you're going to do anything about the tube videos? I'm going to do those as well. And like I said, I've got some other stuff on the back burner. I'm going to get to them, I promise. It just takes time. I got other things on a list that I want to get out. So, and these here, I just wanted to get a series of these out because, again, this is where the rover is supposed to be going. This is its destination point right here. It's supposed to just go up this mountain, up into here, and it's supposed to actually go up to the top of this mountain. That's what they're saying. These wheels will not stop this rover. Trust me. It will not stop the rover. Like I said, even if the tire was the wheel was just to completely shred apart on both left and side of it, it doesn't matter. As long as that ring stays completely round, that's inside that rim, that's all that matters. It'll keep on going. So don't worry about that. This thing is, I think it'll be just fine. And it's supposed to go way up into here, somewhere up in here, up on top of this mountain. And why would they be doing that? Because of what they're seeing in these satellite pictures. Point blank. Now, that's only my opinion. It's speculation, conjecture. But give me your take. Tell me what you think. Because I'd be curious. You guys, watched a lot of videos yourselves, other videos. You've got your own ideas. You've done your own checking into and looking this stuff up and doing your own homework. Let me know what you think's going on. Am I totally off base saying that, what they're looking at is really these structures? Is it something else they're looking for? I personally, in my own opinion, I believe you're seeing, these pictures I just showed you, is what they're really here for. Plain and simple. Anyway, guys, I'm not going to make it 100 minutes long. I just wanted to do this really quick, show you that video, because to me, it just blew me away. And I just happened to stumble on it before I made this video, so I had to add it just to further the frustration. Because let me tell you something, a large table, 30 feet long, 20, 30 feet long, by about 5 feet, is a whole lot larger than just tire marks or wheel marks on the ground. And they can actually see those ribs in those tire marks or the wheel marks. So that the detail in these pictures must be phenomenal. So to hear these people argue the point, it's just raw pictures and they can only send so much data. That's not entirely true if NASA can see what they're seeing. So there's a conflicting argument here. This guy, it just came out of his mouth, this guy Arman, being a mechanical engineer, it just came from his mouth. So throw it around. You guys tell me what you think. Throw a comment down below. Share the video. Give me some thumbs up. Let me know you're on board with this. And just stay tuned, guys. Get some more crazy ones coming up. And you never know what you're going to find. I'm going to be checking all over this mountain. Trust me. I'm hoping to find some really large structure there that just, wow. But I believe it's a lot like we have here on Earth. We got clusters of cities. Everywhere you look, there's clusters of buildings and so on and so forth. It doesn't surprise me. Not in the least bit. But, they don't have to be structures exactly like ours either. We automatically assume, we go, all right, well, it looks nothing like ours, so it can't be structures. Why? Why do they have to be just like ours? Again, how do we know we didn't copy them years ago? Who knows? That's probably not the case, but you know what I mean. If they seen this stuff way back then, excuse me, way back then in the 70s, and I think it was even earlier than that, probably in the 50s or 60s, they're just not telling us, then, yeah. I mean, we might have copied a whole bunch of stuff from them. And all of this time, it took them all of this time to actually put these machines, meaning these landers, rovers, so on and so forth, together. Yeah. I mean, come on. It just took them that long to get the stuff together, get it out in space, and get up there. Now, like I said, if there's only rocks there to see, guys, what's the point? Why is everybody just, like I said, the big bum rush to go to this planet? What's the point? A little soil, a little water in the soil, some rocks everywhere you look. Other than that, that's it. Well, I don't know. There's an awful lot of people spending millions upon billions of dollars to get over there just for simple rock samples. Just common sense here. Just make a deduction saying, well, yeah, X amount of millions and billions, just to see rocks? Or just to check the atmosphere? We've already done this. So yeah, come on. But anyway, guys, as always, give me your thoughts. You know you guys always get the last word on my video, so let me know what you think. Anyway, guys, always appreciate you watching. And I do, like I said, thanks very much for that. And I will see you next pick.